In here, it appears we've got some activity. Right there. That is for Tuesday, believe it or not, because of Amanda. If you scroll down on Eric Wilson Weather Source, okay, I'll post this to our Facebook page. We can always find the latest there. But for the latest tropical activity, this is really interesting because we've got a Pacific cyclone named Amanda for now. And as it moves over Guatemala for the next 96, we'll say 48 hours. For the next 48 hours, it really doesn't strengthen. It doesn't die down either. And right in here, hours 60, 72, we're talking about Tuesday into Wednesday, it starts strengthening back again into a tropical storm. The difference is the bodies of water that Amanda visits. Amanda, the first Pacific named cyclone, moves into the Gulf of Mexico. Well, the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean, and the Atlantic, the North Atlantic Ocean, have already had two tropical storms. In fact, they've had two events happen out there. We've had Artha and Bertha. More on that in a minute. But I just want to give you an idea that, again, at Eric Wilson Weather Source, you can always get the latest here. But notice, as it moves through Guatemala as a depression, it stays as a depression. But I'm really interested in what happens in the Bay of Campeche, in just off of Mexico, southern Mexico, and in the Gulf of Mexico. So we're going to take the models out all the way. By the end of this video, we're going to really try to figure out, we got a lot of 48s in here, which means from here, this is Amanda, forget these. This is not, these are way off into the future. This is where Amanda is currently. This is where it currently is. It's being refreshed as we speak. So when you come and visit Eric Wilson Weather Source, you'll see a lot more readings as Amanda makes its way up Guatemala. It was originally called Tropical Depression 2E last night, and now it is officially named Amanda. And let's go find out why and see if there's any truth to this, which is what everybody in the U.S. is going to be talking about, is does this reform, does it swirl around in the Bay of Campeche and work its way up into the Gulf of Mexico and then threaten the U.S. coastline? As you can see, it, live by the model, die by the model. So we've got some activity with a 40% chance. Let me just restate that. We have 40% chance. You can see the things indicated here. If it was a depression, you'd see a circle. If it was a storm, you'd see this icon. If it was a hurricane, you'd see this. Or if it was the remnants of something, you'd see this. And that's probably what you're going to see over the next couple of days as Amanda forms it here. This right here is from the National Hurricane Center in Miami. So here's Amanda. Amanda is like we thought it would be. It's 8 a.m. on Sunday, and we've got wind gusts, that is, not speeds, but wind gusts of 42 miles an hour right off San Salvador in Guatemala. There's Guatemala City. So where does it go? Okay, so let's take it out 12 hours to 8 a.m. tomorrow. And it appears, well, it just kind of goes away. We'll keep an eye on this area of low pressure. Like I said in my last report, it's not uncommon to see the tropics the equator see this kind of activity. But this is what gets squirrely, is that right you get from Campeche on Monday morning, let's go into Monday afternoon, and you've got a pretty well-developed area of low pressure with wind speeds gusting up to 49 miles an hour. Now, sustained wind is also at that area of 35 miles an hour. So that would mean we would have a named storm, our third one, called Cristobal. We've already had Arthur, already had Bertha, and it would be Cristobal if it forms. Again, can I emphasize if? Yeah, I can, because we're within that 24-hour period. Remember, the time of this recording is Sunday morning at 8, and this is a good 36 hours into the future. And now let's go to Tuesday at 8 a.m., and there it is. Now the winds die down, okay, the sustained winds die down to 27. So we see that wobble back and forth. I did show you the strength, but I'm going to stay here because I don't want to flip back and forth so fast that I lose you. Like I said yesterday, it would take all the way into next week. Next week, like talking Sunday, 1 week from today. If this happens, this would be Cristobal. Okay? Cristobal could very well, I'm going all the way back to Tuesday, and I'm going to go back down south to where the confidence here is pretty good. I'd say it's over 30% confident that, I mean, you start getting to the end of 48 hours, your confidence really starts to decline. Just to give you an idea, the GFS has it in the same area. So at 48 hours, a little past 48 hours, you've got two models that are pretty much in agreement. Both the, we call it the American Euro, but the ECMF is what it's, ECMWF is what it's called. And this is the one that handles hurricanes the best. Because it's in a different body of water, that's why Amanda, the remnants of Amanda, will become Cristobal. This happens all the time when you've got systems crossing from the Pacific and then backing or moving into another body of water. They get renamed, and that's so that ships can understand, you know, what's going on. Where both models agree that something's going to happen, at least on Tuesday. I really don't want to go any further than Tuesday. Tuesday's got everybody kind of just, like I said, squirrely. Look at the difference in the wind gust suggestions. This is why the European model gets so much credit. This is 2 days from today. Today's Sunday. It's 8 a.m. And 2 days from today, we could have a named storm, Cristobal, in the Bay of Campeche. And where it goes from here, again, I don't go any further out than 48 hours. And because we're talking about the United States and we're talking about landfall over Central America, this is all accurate up to this point. So this is always an active page. So even this movie itself will be now in this location, and you can also see it on your phone. All right, thanks for watching, and make sure you comment, because I've had a lot of good comments coming from Guatemala. Okay, be safe.